Set 8 is finally coming tomorrow, and a lot of people have been asking me, like, when does it actually release? Does it happen at 3 a.m.? Does it happen at like 9 a.m.? It's going to depend on your time zone, but it's going to be somewhere towards that midnight mark. So I think if you guys are in the US, it's going to be coming out at 3 a.m. Eastern time or midnight if you're on the West Coast. If you're on Australia, by the time I post this video, it might already be up and active to play because Australia obviously sees the sun first, right? Wow, there's actually Baron Little Legend. So I've seen a lot of the Lux chibis. I did not know they added Baron. Baron's actually kind of cool because he's a very iconic character in League of Legends at least. Cats are pretty cool. Are you guys cat people or dog people? I'm actually kind of curious. But we have a ton of changes going on. We have a bunch of the pricing down here for each of the stuff you can buy. And we also have ranked rewards that are coming, and that's all from last set. So if you got to at least gold, I think they have gold, plat, master, diamond, grandmaster, and challenger icons that you could get, as well as stuff from double up and hyper roll for end of season rewards. But all that is nice and dandy. I'm more into the actual changes to the gameplay in this set because, as you guys know, I post a lot of guides on TFT, and I'm gonna do even more this set. I say this every set, but it's actually happening because I already lined up most of those videos, whereas normally when I say that, I'm planning to do the videos, but I'm already in progress on all of them now, so it's a lot different when I say it this time. But first things first, hero augments. This is the new mechanic of the set, and all champions have 2 hero augments. They dropped the villain naming theme, so it used to be like hero and villain augments, but essentially it's just hero now, and one's more carry oriented, the other one's more supportive, and you're given the hero augment at the same time as all the other augment rounds from before, except it will replace the regular augment, but they're not guaranteed to happen in each game. There's a 5% chance that a game will not feature a hero augment. 2 on armories, you could have either 1 and 2 costs, 2 and 3, 3-2 is 2 and 3 or 3 and 4, and then 4-2 is 3 and 4 or 4 and 5 cost units. Keep in mind the higher tier unit, the augment, generally the better it is. So if you do take one of the lower cost ones, like obviously you only take it if it's like the best one for your comp, but just keep that in mind because in terms of power levels, obviously the higher you go, the stronger they are. Hero augments will be semi-tailored to your board, which means that sometimes you'll get a unit that you want, but oftentimes it's going to be a unit that's not even on your board, but you could still make it work sometimes because maybe the buff, treat it like a silver augment or a gold augment that gives you stats such as, let's say, scope weapons or something like that, that gives you extra range and some attack speed. If there's like a support augment from a random champion and you really need attack speed, like maybe it fills the same role. There are 118 hero augments, so I guess one challenge for this set would be winning with every single hero augment, which I guess would be pretty hard, but you know, there's always a chance for anything to happen. But they're also bringing back 100 old augments from the past, as well as 63 heart, crown, crest, and soul augments for all the new traits, so it's going to be pretty similar on the other ends. Another new thing they're introducing in this set is the item anvil, and by the way guys, I know some of you guys already know the system changes because you saw my set 8 preview video, but we'll also go over the large changes right after this, so you can skip ahead if you want to go past the item anvil and item systems. But Item Anvil is essentially just giving you a couple of options to choose from instead of being completely RNG on item drops, and this is going to happen on the 4-7 PvE round. And then for all the completed items, you know when you faced Dragon before, it's being replaced by a lot of new PvE bosses, such as Zac, I think Aurelion Soul, Urgot, someone else probably too. And these give you Item Anvils, which gives you a couple of completed items to choose from. So great job for reducing RNG there. That's probably like it seems like a small change, but I think overall for the feel of the game, you're not going to feel screwed over because your enemy got a perfect item and you got a bad one and you're in like a late game duel or something like that. So that should be prevented by this thing. Bosses also have a small chance to drop tome and traits along with the completed item anvils, and then you could also get an enhanced item anvil, which will let you choose from 5 Ornn items instead. So item changes, quite a few big ones here. Physical spells now work like magic spells, so they can no longer be dodged or missed, so it's a lot more consistent in their wording now. This is a bit more of an advanced thing, so if you guys are new and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I wouldn't worry too much about it. It just means you treat all spells the same now, because before some spells could crit, some couldn't, and now they're just making it consistent. Grievous wounds reduce healing 50% to 30%, that's pretty big. Item power has been lowered while champion base power has gone up, so what this means is getting 2-star champions is much more important than having perfect items. So in the past, when you have like a 1-star unit that has 3 perfect items, it's not going to be completely blowing out a 2-star unit with like okay items. Attack damage bonus has also been changed from flat bonuses to percentage now, and now this percent scales off a unit's base attack damage and does not scale with other sources of AD. So that is very important because that changes how we build items for attack damage carries. And then they added keywords for every type of effect. So they have burn, which is like the Morello stuff, chill, reducing attack speed, disarm, mana reave, omnivamp, shred, stun, sunder, taunt, and wound. So pretty much like all that stuff is being standardized now, so that's pretty good. A lot less confusion later on. So now let's take on to the large changes. Third-party friends. Oh wait, let's change this a little bit. They are missing the most important website of all, and that is what is it? BunnyMuffins.lol. So feel free to check that website out. I'll close out of this, and I'll be posting a tier list there every single Friday. It's probably one of the longest standing tier lists in TFT right now. Just because I started since a very early time and I just have not taken any breaks since I started. But now onto the augment section. They removed meditation, best friends, axiom arc, better together, blue battery 2, exiles 3, makeshift armor 3, and scope weapons 2. Wow, they actually removed scope weapons 2. I thought that was a really fun one. So yeah, it might have been weird. Yeah, meditation definitely would have been too good with Star Guardians. Same with maybe like Axiom Arc. So yeah, I'll trust their judgment on this. Let's move on into the adjusted augments. Big Friend damage reduction is being reduced at both levels. Binary airdrop now only gives you 1 component instead of 2. I'm guessing since you could kind of get better items, that's why they changed this one here. Blue Battery 1 reworked. They also changed how blue buff works. So that's why they're doing this. It now grants 10 mana each cast and 8 ability power. Built different, 1, 2, and 3 are all being nerfed a little bit, and then their health is being nerfed as well. Celestial Blessing Omnivamp is being reduced, which makes a lot of sense since they nerfed the healing debuff, so you can heal more now. Cybernetic Implants, this one is being nerfed a bit as well. I'm guessing there are more items available because they nerfed binary, so same logic probably applies to cybernetic augments. Moving on into Electrocharge. Electrocharge is really good in the early game, very bad late game. So just keep that in mind whenever you take this. Featherweight's good for reroll. Reroll is very prevalent right now, so definitely look out for that. They added a trait called Supers, which means the more 3 stars you have, the more power your team gets, which is really, really fun, especially with Featherweights. High Roller Gold bonus is being reduced by 4. Late Game Specialist reduced from 45 to 40 gold. I thought it was 50 gold. Maybe I'm misremembering. Last Stand Health reduced by 20. I didn't know this one was that strong. But Armor, Magic Resistant Omnivamp reduced by 2. Lucky Gloves, Sparring Gloves given is being changed from 3 to 2. Did this really give 3 before? I thought it only gave 2. I must be misremembering a lot of things. Rich Get Richer, 10 to 12 gold. Rich Get Richer Plus, 18 to 20. Scope Weapons 1, increased hex range from 1 to 2. I like that change a lot because Scope Weapons felt pretty useless before. But now you use it more for the range, less so for the attack speed, even though you still get attack speed, which is nice. Thrill the Hunt, healing reduced for the same reasons for Celestial Blessing. Trade Sector. By the way, if you want to know when to take Thrill the Hunt or get Celestial Blessing, I'm going to be coming out with a video. I believe I'll post it on Saturday with 100 tips for TFT, and one of them will be telling you when to get Thrill the Hunt and when to pick Celestial Blessing if you get both choices in your augment shop. Trade Sector, 8 to 12 gold. New augment, threat level maximum. This is a trait augment. I wonder why they point this one out on its own, because they don't list out all the other trait augments, but it just gives you a lot of bonuses when you use threat units. Triforce 1, 2, and 3 is being changed to standardized numbers instead, and overall being nerfed a bit. There was a brief discussion, I believe, and TFT wants to move a lot more towards these rounded numbers like 10, 15, 25. I know there's still some goofy ones like 8 to 12, but when it's like a single digit number or like in the teens, it's a little different than like 75 versus like 72 or something like that over here. But moving on into the item components. So dodge is gone. Yep, that is true. Crit is stronger and more intuitive. So BF Sword changed the flat AD to base AD. Sparring Gloves, they increase the critical strike chance and remove the dodge chance. And crit items are really, really good so far. At least I think so. And also don't stack Jeweled Gauntlet and Infinity Edge because it doesn't actually do anything together. They go over that here a little bit. But we'll go down into the detail section instead. So they replaced Banshee's Claw with Guard Breaker now. This is an anti-shield damage item, and it's really nice because if you ever get weird combos such as Crit Glove and Belt, you could still make like a semi-decent damage item. Treat it kind of like a Giant Slayer, but instead against high health units, it's good against those shielded units, and it gives you a bunch of crit. You can read out the full effect here. Archangel stat bonus ability power dropped a little bit. Actually, not a little bit. Dropped by half. And then Bloodthirster Omnivamp nerfed a bit. Blue buff reworked, and now it gives 10 bonus starting mana and 15 ability power, and it reduces the holder's max mana by 10. And if you get a takedown within 3 seconds of casting, you gain an additional 10 mana, so great for resets. Bramble Vest bonus armor gained, reduced a little bit. Chalice of Power AP reduced a bit. Deathblade is being changed to flat 40% AD. Dragonclaw magic resistance reduced by a lot, but you get a bigger healing regen. So they're changing Dragonclaw into a much more healing item instead of an anti-magic item. But do keep in mind right now, I researched all the different carries in the set so far, and there are a lot more AP carries than there are AD carries this set. So it is an interesting time to do this, because I feel like this set everyone would have built the old Dragonclaw, but you probably still built the new one. It still gives a bunch of MR, which is nice. Edge of Night attack speed granted on proc being lowered by a lot. Gargoyle Stoneplate, MR and armor being reduced by a tiny bit. Giant Slayer reworked. They're changing it because of the attack damage change, and it's now 1600 max health and deals 30% more with abilities and attacks at that health range. Gwinsu's Rageblade attack speed per auto nerfed a bit, and this is actually pretty big because it's a stacking item, so it's like, I mean, you're losing, what's this, 20 some percent or like 18 some percent per auto. Hand of Justice changed AD to percent AD. Hand of Justice Omnivamp nerfed because of the healing stuff. Same with Hextech Gunblade. Infinity Edge reworked. Your abilities can now crit, so it's like Jeweled Gauntlet, but you gain AD and some crit, and it's no longer unique. Jeweled Gauntlet and Infinity Edge are essentially the same item, except one gives AD, one gives AP. Other than that, they are the same. Last Whisper grants 10% attack speed, is being changed to 10% base attack damage. Morellonomicon, bonus ability power is reduced a bit. Quicksilver, removed dodge, now grants crit. And then bonus attack speed bumped up a bit. And there are a lot of melee carries this set, so I do think Quicksilver is actually going to come back into the game. Protector's Vow is a much more selfish item now. Before it helped out a bunch of people on your team. Now it's just good for the person holding the tank item. Rabadon's Death Cap reduced a bit. Runon's Hurricane AD is changed to the percentage. Bolt damage is being reduced accordingly, I guess because this is probably stronger, right? Depends on which champion you're using on, but you wouldn't build Runons on a low AD champion, so it makes sense. Shroud of Stillness grants 15% dodge, is being changed to 20% crit. This is a weird item now. Like, it's normally a support item, but it gives crit now, so like, who's supposed to hold it because it doesn't help your carry do more damage? They should probably make this build from something else. I'm not really too sure though. But it now grants an additional 250 HP. Who needs crit and HP? That's what I want to know. And a supporting effect. I mean, it's an OP item, don't get me wrong, but it just seems so weird to me, like the stat distribution. Spirit Shojin now grants 15 AP, and it's reworked a bit. Now it's every 3 attacks you get mana, so instead of every auto getting mana, it comes in a big burst. Static Shiv grants 10... Oh, but one way you could calculate this is now it gives like 6 point something mana per auto attack. Before, I believe it gave 5. So it gives more mana, but sometimes you could like get too much mana because it goes over your mana total. So overall, probably around like similar power level. Static Shiv grants 10% attack speed, is being changed to 15 AP. The shock damage is being reduced a bit. Wow, that's actually quite a big reduction. Thieves Gloves now grants 10% crit and dodge, is being changed to 40% crit. And then Titan's Resolve grants 2 AD and AP, is being changed to the base percent AD and 2 ability power. Zeke's Herald attack speed lowered a bit, and Zephyr now grants 15% attack speed. There are a bunch of Radiant item changes. I'll skip over these. I'm assuming it's just doing very similar stuff to make them consistent with the other changes they made. And then we have Double Up. Not too much on Double Up there because I'm not a big Double Up player, but wow, that is a pretty big patch. Let's see. So have you guys played PBE yet? If not, it's okay. The real set's coming out tomorrow. Let me know what ranks you guys are down in the comments below, because I'm going to be tailoring a lot of different guides towards like whatever you guys write. And I'll be streaming on my Twitch at twitch.tv/BunnyMuffinsLOL, and just gonna be playing a lot, grinding a lot. I want to do like a big climb this set because I haven't like played super a lot in a long time, and I kind of want to try that again this set because it's kind of fun to do for me, and hopefully get more videos as well for that too. But that's gonna be it for me today. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow on Twitch.